Hello explorers and welcome to another video. Today we are going to do some Advent of Code Day 1. And my life is a little bit crazy at the moment. I have been working really hard the last days during the weekend and up till yesterday, and I fell asleep really early yesterday, December 1st, where this challenge actually started. And now it's 3 a.m. December 2nd, and I'm fully rested after sleeping really early and then waking really early. So I thought, why not do something fun? And Advent of Code is something that comes out every year, gives you a challenge in coding, and the first one is usually pretty simple. And I thought, why not do something fun, something that could engage my mind for a few hours before I'm going to work again. So let's jump over to this example here. And it always starts with a little bit of a backstory. So after saving Christmas 5 years in a row, I was only doing this last year and the year before, so only 3 years. So they have been doing this for 5 years. Really nice. You've decided to take a vacation at a nice resort on a tropical island. Surely Christmas can go on without you. The tropical island has its own currency. It's entirely cash only. The gold coins used there have a little picture of a starfish, and the local just calls them stars. None of the currency exchanges seems to have heard of them, but somehow you need to find 50 of these coins by the time you arrive so you can pay your deposit to your room. To save your vacation, you need to get all 50 stars by December 25th. And I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to do most of them or all of them in the month of December. Collect stars by solving puzzles. 2 puzzles will be available each day in the Advent calendar. The second puzzle is unlocked when you complete the first one, and each puzzle grants 1 star. Good luck! Before you leave, the elves in accounting just need to fix your expense report, your puzzle input. Apparently something isn't quite adding up. Especially they need to find the 2 entries that sum up to 2020 and multiply those 2 numbers together. For example, if you have an expense report containing the following, and in this list you take 2 entries and sum up to 2020. These are 17, 21 and 299, multiplying them together, and then you have the correct answer. Of course, your expense report is much larger. Find the 2 entries that adds up to 2020 and you'll get multiply those together. And here's your puzzle input. And if we jump over to some code here, so this is my starting example, just the main function. And then we have the puzzle inputs in my inputs directory here. And it's about 200 inputs, so it's not that large, and you could do this by hand. But the thing you should do is create a little bit of a function here. And I'm not exactly sure how I'm gonna do this. I'm probably gonna cut a lot of the creation process and then go through the code when I'm done in most of the videos, because those could be really long otherwise. But if it's more short and I actually come to the conclusion early, I might add more. So we'll see how much of the solving processing I will add and how much of the just solution you will get. But I will explain everything that I do in the manner that I thought out the solutions. So let's see here. We have some puzzle input, and then we have some values, and those should add up to 2020. let's say that we first have this puzzle input that we had as an example, and then we can create that using our input later on. So let's take this example here and put that into just a simple array. And then we want those to find what adds up to 2020 and then multiply that. A simple for loop through these values will give us the values there. And then we need to have a way to check with previous values. That could be a for loop as well. We could also, we want to check everything with everything is pretty much what we want to do. And I think that's easier done with using multiple arrays. So let's do that. Puzzle minus length. And then do another one inside here. We need to have the accumulator as well. So that should be J here. And start that one as at 1. That means that we will change that up, or actually I plus 1, and then we will have looked at all of them, because if we start at 0, that's the first value, and we want to look at the next one and all the ones after that, and then we will have checked all the values with each other. If we go to the next value and then check everything after that with that value, then we will have checked all again with that value. So if we do this and we take the puzzle input and take I plus the puzzle input J, and we see that that's 2020. If that's the case, then we will just system out those two values. Will that give us something? Or will it just be nonsense? So this is a good way to just check if we have done the main coding correctly here. Let's see. If we get something out of this, we should break the loop here as well. Okay, so first off, we need to have the right Java version. So I haven't set that up for this project, so that could be something that we can look into. Let's see here, compiler, and Java compiler. We have Java C here. We say that we have Java 12, and that's the Java version I have installed in my project at the moment. So let's go with that. Any Java version will suffice, of course. So let's see here. Is there anything else that we need to change? Let's try that out. See if we can run it now. Seems to be working. And we got the two results that we expected. If we just add a little bit of a multiply here, it should give us the result that they had in the example. And it seems like it. If we do this a little bit more tidy here, so we can have public static find value, and we have a void here, and then just put this in there and add a break here. And this is an int puzzle that we want as an input. Find that value from puzzle and run it again. And that should give us the same value. So now we just need to have some input into this. So let's see here. We want a string. We want an input reader. Input stream reader. String reader. String reader. Buffered reader. Yeah, buffered reader, that's what we want. New buffered reader. And that requires, I think, a new file reader. And the file reader can take a file name. So this could be, for instance, inputs / puzzle input puzzle a1 txt. Like that. And I think we need to have a try case around this buffered reader here. Catch exception. And in this case, we will be looking at the screen, so we don't send this anywhere. We just have it BR, and we will get lines as a stream. That's interesting. And we can, for instance, say for each. And as, could that be something? Doing some new coding here, and we want it to be a puzzle array when we're done. But let's give, first off, create a list of strings here. Inputs, perhaps. New array list. So this is just to read the strings. Perhaps. Yeah, we can do count and values. If we do it like that, we could actually. Oh, it's a long, yeah. Long. We could actually have int puzzle. Remove that one. Values puzzle. New. This is number of values, of course. Int number of values. So that it expects that to be an integer, I think. So we should be able to just cast it to an int like that. We know there is 200 values, but I think it's cleaner to do like that. In that case, if we do an for each here, we could have an iterator that says that this puzzle should add the s, and then we have a integer value of string. Like that. That should read every value in the puzzle and give us something. But it didn't give us any output. So let's do a system out, print the line here, puzzle length, and then we can do an arrays to string of this puzzle input, and that should show us something if we have done this right. We get 200 zeros. So let's do a system out here of this string. What is the input? It doesn't input anything. And just say string line, because this is more readable, I think. Line equals br read line, and if this is not null, we can continue here. So if we do like that, we should be able to print out the string here. And I see that we actually have an issue here with this I. So we can't have a final value here. So we can't have an iterator. Variables in lambda expression should be final, efficiently final, which doesn't really work if we want to have an iterator, so that's pretty useless in this case then. So if we want to actually use this, we need to do it the old-fashioned way. So lambdas is good for something, but not good for this. Let's see here. So we're still not getting anything from our input. Why not? Puzzle 1A in the inputs directory. We get the number of lines here. Do we need to reset it perhaps? That could be the issue. Stream not marked. Okay. So let's create an array of 200 then. We could have the right solution here should be to have a list of strings, inputs, new array list. So there we have the probable correct way to do this. And then add each line here. Line. Then we will know the size of this puzzle input here. It should be inputs size. And then we can go for each string S in the inputs, and we can do that. So this is more like it. That should give us, yeah, we use string of course. So now we have all the values here. So what I did is I have a screen reader. I have the arrays with inputs. I go through each line. So this will read line, into this string. And if it will check that this function does not return null, because it will do that when it's done, and then put that into our inputs array up here. We are doing it like this in order to know the size of the array that we want to create later on. So this is the size, and we need the size because arrays they are actually a chunk of memory, so we need to allocate exactly the right size. And then we go through and add the ints to that array. We check the inputs, so we have those there, and then we run our function that we created earlier, and we get this result here. So let's see if we are correct with the first little submission here. Yes! You get a star! I get a star! Everybody gets a gold star! Yeah, we did it. Let's continue to part 2. So let's see here. The elves in accounting are thankful for your help. One of them even offers you a starfish. Seems like a good reward. Coin. They left... starfish coin. They had left over from the past vacation. They offer you a second one if you can find 3 numbers in your expense report that meet the same criteria. Using the above example, the 3 entries that sum to 2020 are these 3. Let's see, multiplying them together, we get this long thing here. So the easy way to do that would be to have 3 loops. And as our input data isn't that large, we should be able to do that. So let's first off have this little function here. See if we can just do a return up here and run it. We should get the earlier, yeah. Let's just use comments. Comments are good for this. So let's just see that we can fix up our function up here. So that's the earlier value. And if we want to continue with our for loop, we just need to add another letter here, the K. This is probably not the right solution, but it is a solution. So in this case, we can add another one here. Another one rides the bus, and another one goes, and another one goes, another one rides the bus. Hey, he's gonna sit by you. And we try to run that, and we get, I believe, the same value as they did here. Yep, so that's the large one. So let's see if we can just comment out this example and then run our function here again. And we should get the second output. And we get another large value here. We put that into our into the page and submit. And we get another gold star. You get a gold star, I get a gold star, everybody gets a gold star. So we reused the earlier example and we got the solution. It's not the finest solution that you have. It's not that elegant, but it does the job. So in the first case, we checked the first value with the second value, and then we went over to the second value and checked with the next one after that, and then third value and the one after that. And in this case, we do the same, what we do loops, where we check the first value and the value after that and the value after that, and then we do inner loops of the values continuing after. It's not the most efficient way to get there, but as we have a lot of compute power, it's a safe thing to do if you have an input of 200 values. If the input would be millions or billions of values, this would take a lot of time, so it might not be the right solution. So this was my video today. I hope that you found this interesting. I hope that you learned something today. If you have any comments, leave them down in the comment section down below. I will submit this to GitHub, and I will continue to add to this repository as we go along during December. And I hope that you have a really jolly time, and I really hope to see you in the next video.